What's happening, guys? My name is Anthony, and in today's video we're going to be doing a track guide for Azerbaijan. So if you do end up learning from this video, make sure to come back to it and comment down below how much time you were able to shave off thanks to this track guide. Now there's something that I wanted to announce because I've made a couple of track guides up to this point and I've been asked the same question over and over again. Where's the setups? What setup should I use? Where is your setup spreadsheet? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the spreadsheet now. However, it's only going to comprise of time trial setups because that's all I've really been using. That's all I've had the time to really use. I haven't had the time to really figure out what setups I like and what setups work for me so that I can put it in the baseline for you guys. So at this moment, it's only going to be time trial setups. So because they're only going to be time trial setups, I highly recommend to you guys that you take these setups with a pinch of salt. You go and you tweak them, you go and you practice with them in an online setting, in GP mode, whatever it is that you go and you practice before you do your races, because if you go into it with that setup, you haven't done any practice, it's gonna hurt you in the long run. So if you want to get access to that spreadsheet, just go to the pinned comments down below or go to the description in any of my track guide videos up until this point and you'll find the spreadsheet. So without further ado, let's get into the track guide itself, and then I'll play the hot lap towards the end of the video so that you guys can get straight in to learning how to be quick at Azerbaijan. Okay, so coming up to the start finishing line straight, you would have had DRS open for quite a while at this point, and the first corner does come at you very quickly after the start finishing line. So coming up to the first corner now, what I like to do is I like to brake just after the black pole that you see on the right hand side and just before the 100-meter board, so probably around about 105 meters away from the actual apex itself. Brake in a complete straight line using all the track that you possibly can, shift down into 4th gear and then turn the car in, hold it in 4th gear. This allows you to carry more minimum speed, more minimum apex speed, and then just try and get on the throttle as soon as you can and use all the track that you possibly can. So for this second corner, you're going to be in 6th gear, and you can see that the outside of the barrier sort of stops here and then it sort of comes in at an angle. I use this part here as a braking point, so right when the barrier itself starts to go straight, that's when I start braking in 6th gear. You want to again brake in a complete straight line down into 3rd gear, hold it in 3rd gear, try and miss this inside curbing here because you will lose a lot of time going down this entire straight if you hit it, and then just try and get your foot on the throttle as soon as you can, open up DRS on the line, and then this whole straight here, if you make up time, you'll be making up time throughout this whole straight. If you lose time, you'll be losing time throughout this whole straight. And then coming up to turn 3 now, I like to brake super late in qualifying, not as late in the race, but in qualifying you want to brake just before the 100-meter board, so probably around about 105 meters again. In the race, I like to brake slightly earlier than that just to preserve the tires throughout the race and minimize any chances of locking up during the race and going straight into the barrier and ruining the race. But you want to shift down into 3rd gear here. You can use 4th if you want to potentially carry more minimum apex speed, but I like to use 3rd here just to avoid going into the barrier, because I've noticed for myself when I use 4th gear I go straight into the barrier here. Once again, miss the inside curb or else you will lose time as the car will just be unsettled. Then for this corner, you're going to be in 5th gear, brake just before the 50-meter board. Try and brake in a diagonal line here, so you're going towards the barrier, and then as soon as you're about to hit the barrier, that's when you want to start turning in 3rd gear. This allows you to carry a lot more speed throughout this corner, and you can actually get on the throttle earlier as well, and I've noticed that's made up a lot of time for me personally. And then this next corner, once again in 6th gear, this is the end of sector 1. I like to brake just before I reach this tree and then brake in a straight line, because you want to be turning in as late as you possibly can here. I'm in 3rd gear here. You want to turn in as late as you can because you want to be as far left for this next corner so that you can just flick the car through. Try and miss this inside curb there. Don't hit it like I did there. Get on throttle as soon as you can, and then you'll make up time throughout this whole section. Then for this corner, once again, you'll be in 6th gear. You're going to be in 6th gear quite a lot around Baku. I like to brake usually just in between the 100 and the 50-meter board, closer to the 50-meter board than the 100, so I'd probably say maybe 65 meters away. And then brake in a straight line once again into 2nd gear. Try and ride over this curb as much as possible without invalidating it. Very easy to invalidate on this game. And then once again, you'll be up into 5th gear here for turn 8. hardest corner on the entire track, in my opinion. You'll be in 5th gear just after the black box. You want to break down into 3rd gear and just carry as much speed as you possibly can. You don't need to worry about the inside curb throwing you out into the barrier if you hit it right. And you just want to carry as much speed throughout this section as you possibly can. Hit the apex there, and then just turn in, try and cut as much as you can without invalidating here, and then again just get on the throttle as soon as you can. Straight line the car so that you can get the best traction possible. And then this section here is all flat out, don't need to worry about all of that. And then the next actual braking zone, you're going to be in 8th gear. I like to brake just after the curbing on the right hand side, so just after I pass that. So not sure how far that would be. I'm guessing maybe like 70 meters or something like that. Just after that curb, brake from 8th gear down into 3rd gear. You want to miss this curb on F1 2021. On F1 2020, you could take it in the race, you could take it in qualifying. You want to miss it because with the whole new damage system, you are potentially going to cause yourself some floor damage. And plus, it's generally slower, it seems, this year to go over the curb than it is to just completely miss it. And obviously try not to hit the barrier on the outside. And then for the final corner, you'll be in 6th gear, brake out around about 75 meters in a straight line down into 3rd gear or 4th gear if you want to carry more minimum speed if the setup is aggressive enough. And then just simply get on the throttle as soon as you can. And then after that point, everything else is just completely flat. So it's all about just minimizing the amount of turning that you're doing to scrub as least amount of speed as you possibly can. Then in qualifying, you want to be on the left hand side just to minimize the track. Obviously open up DRS as soon as possible, and then the race you'll obviously be on the right hand side. And that is a lap of Azerbaijan.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 36.7.
So that's going to be it for the Azerbaijan track guide. If you want to check out any of the other track guides, make sure to go to the link in the description and it will take you to the playlist of all the track guides I've done up until this point, or you can simply just wait until the end card and you'll be able to see some of the track guides that I've done there. Also, make sure to comment down below on how much time you were able to shave off thanks to this track guide, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.